Hi everyone, welcome back to Rants by Robbo. Gym motivation and how it's affected me, how it's changed my personality, and how it's still a huge part of my life today. So, what does the gym mean to me? Well, before I ever hit the gym, I was very much a dependent person. Like I struggled to be motivated and had a lot of anxiety. And I was usually fairly depressed. Like I used to walk around fairly upset. And I used to like people used to take photos with me, and like I used to be like, oh, I look so bad. Like I laugh at it now because I can see that like I was wrong to think that, but at the time I was like, oh, I don't look good, or I need to change this, or if I look this good, or could you imagine? I just kept like having these ideas in my head that if I looked different, life would be different, and all these other different things, feelings that weren't exactly true. I just wanted something to blame, because I was very depressed, and like most people I just tried to be deflect it with like being funny or being very personable and sociable. I thought the best way to hide it is to be in plain sight, because you won't notice the kid who's always happy and always laughing because he's laughing. He can't be sad when he's laughing. But no, I was very much so, and I was always looking for a community, or like a mecca, if you will, like a place where you could sort of journey to, where you had like people around you, like your friends or your family or whoever, where you could feel accepted and feel like a part of it, part of a team. And well, I found it at the gym, somewhere where people that I admired went to, and somewhere I could challenge myself. It was like a me versus me, and now become like a safe haven, where somewhere I can find clarity, and probably always will be. Like, I love training because it gives me peace of mind, and it gives me the satisfaction, and your endorphins is a great natural thing that you can tap into and can really change your life. Like before I ever did my first ever training, I'd only train very rarely, but I'd train for rugby union or league, and I was like, oh, it sucks, whatever. But then when I found it on my own and I started doing it on my own, I found that if I did this enough, I'd be so like as the first endorphins hit, where I was finished at the gym and I was sweating out, and I was just in a good mood, and I couldn't really explain it. Like nothing, I couldn't explain why I was in a good mood, and I was like, oh, I just want this again. I just want this feeling again and again and again, and so I just kept doing it, just genuinely kept doing it. So yeah, that was sort of what it means to me. Is it's my way of finding clarity, I guess. It's my way of it's just my safe haven, really. It's just sort of become like my ground, the the earth I walk on, I suppose. And how it's changed my psychology is a big deal. Well, I'm much more happy and super duper driven, and I'm like a cheetah in the wild. Like I'm just always on the hunt for something. I'm just looking around, and whatever's in front of me, I just want to get. Like whatever challenge comes across, I'm like, oh, I want to get that. I want to take this challenge, and I want to do it, and I want to do it well, and I want to, you know, um, I've got a voice, and like most people have voices in your head. Like I had a very anxious voice in my head for a long time. Like, oh, if she comes near me, I got to be funny, or else otherwise I'm just a fat kid, or of this or that. I've got to be. My voice was very anxious and very worried and very like shy in a way. And now I'm just I got a voice in my head that's super duper ambitious. It's like a new person where I'm super duper ambitious, and I've got a different view of my life. Like I've got a way more um, energetic and way more like positive way of looking at things, and that like it went from you can't do that to there's nothing you can't do, and it's like a full 180, and it's almost like I went from being like a punching bag to bulletproof. It's like, it's really weird, because like now I'm like, I want to run my own business. I want to have my own brand. I want to have all these different things that I probably never would have wanted when I was heavy. And I was always good at business, but I couldn't have never put it to fruition because I guess I didn't have the right mindset. It's 99% inspiration, 1% desperation, and I didn't have the desperation, but now I very much do to conquer that. And yeah, but the gym to a lot of young men is it's the best atmosphere you can get into. Like if you can grab your buddies and go to the gym and be competitive, just be competitive. And whether it is like, if you guys are doing bench press and you guys are like, oh, do some more weight, throw another plate on. Obviously be safe, but competition is key. Key for building everything. It's key to building that ambition. It's key to building that fire. It's what you need to get to that. It's what you need to start your journey. And like I said to someone last night, it's the hardest step is step number one. And everything you do, number one is the hardest step. Because if you look at a hill, for example, and this is a massive hill, and you're down, you're down at the bottom, well, you're going to look up and go, oh, this sucks. Step one's always going to suck. But when you're halfway up the thing and you're at step 82 and you're like, oh my goodness, look how far and high I am right now. If I could just keep going, I'll get to the top eventually. And you get to the top and you look out and it's an amazing view. The more you do it, the more you want to. The more you want to. And then eventually, before you know it, you're like, oh fuck, I want a bigger hill. I want this, I want bigger. And then your ambition will kick right in and it'll become something that you'd never even expected. But yeah, that's what I recommend for a lot of young boys. The gym is like, try and look big, try and look swole. I say just train for clarity, more for cut. You know what I mean? Like you don't need all those pre-workouts and you don't need all that shit. You just need to be dedicated. Like I don't use it. I've never used pre-workout. I've never used anything of the sort. I think I've used one pre-workout once, and I was like, oh yeah, this would be great. And I went in and I went on the bike and I got 6Ks in whatever time. Anyways, the next day I went in with that pre-workout and I beat that time by like 20 seconds or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just pre-workout is just, to me, it's a bit of a scam, because what you need to do is train yourself without it. Because if you become dependent or complacent on a thing that can make you work out harder, then really you're weaker than the next guy. You need to have that self-ambition, that self-drive, because my thing is always train like you would in the wild. Like there's no belts in the wild. There's no fucking compression shorts, nothing. It's just you. Just you. That's all you have to use. So train just you, because that's all you have to use. And what happens when you're in a situation and you don't have time to, clock in your creatine or clock in your fucking pre-workout and you need to be strong? What are you going to do then? Oh, you can't do anything. Nope. you know, those things are just fucking scams. That strength is all from you. It's all from your body. It's all naturally occurring. And a solid good diet, or, a good amount of, just a good amount of work, a good like warm up, it's fantastic. It just makes you 10 times stronger. Like, I'll ride in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I've done 30-minute rides on that stationary bike, and people look at me like I'm fucking crazy, but it's the best thing to do. And I've never had an injury. I've never had anything come negative my way, because my blood's flowing. Everything I do is nice and warmed up, stretched out, and it's how you need to do it. Because you train, like, there's an old saying, if you train for longevity, if you train for longevity, the longer you'll be in the game. And that's what you want. We want to have big cardio, big longevity, and we want to be around for a long time. We want to be just an endless thing. Like, that's what those big guys do, those big athletes. If you look at Dwayne Johnson, who's someone who trains for longevity, endurance, and he's jacked. Don't get me wrong, but that's what he trains for, And guys like Conor McGregor, guys like the anyone who's at the pinnacle of what they do will train more for longevity and more for being more for being something sustainable rather than not being something sustainable. Because a lot of bodybuilders aren't sustainable. For example, Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman was 8-time Mr. Olympia, and he was huge. He looked like the guy who they invented to take out the Hulk. That's how you describe him. He was ginormous, and the problem that he had was now that he's got all these surgeries, his hip surgeries and back and everything. He looked fantastic. He looked fantastic, but he paid a heavy, heavy toll. So I don't want anyone to have back surgeries or knee surgeries or anything like that. I really don't. I can't imagine that's fun. So I always just train for longevity because it's more impressive if you're able to just maintain it. Like if you look at a guy like Mark Wahlberg, his whole career, he's been in fantastic shape. His whole career. And you look at guys, once again, I'm going to go back to The Rock. You look at guys who, like that, who've just been in impeccable shape for a long, long time because they just know what they're doing. They know for a fact that if you train for longevity, it's way, way better for you. Train sustainably, you know, and don't go in there cold. Don't go in the weight room cold because that's where you can get really fucking injured. You can, 100%. But also in saying that, if you're doing it so far and that's what you do, that's what you do. Now, if you clang and bang, fucking man, get after it, dude. You know, I'm not gonna tell you how to run your show. You know, I'm just a guest. You're the main event, so you know, do your thing. But yeah, I just want you guys to not get injured and not get hurt. But yeah, no, the gym for me is very much a community that I've taken in, and they've taken me in pretty gracefully. Because the thing is, everyone in life needs. If you can get a healthy addiction, you'll get in pretty good shape. You know, you'll get in pretty good mental clarity, mental shape, whatever you want to call it. You'll be in good shape because in a time in your life, it may not be now, maybe later, you're gonna have an addiction where it could be that you drink a lot of coffee. It could be that you love Halo. It could be whatever the fuck you do. You will have some sort of addiction, something that you'll want to do more than anything else. So it's important that we do it now, where we get, we find an addiction that's sustainable, it's healthy, and it makes you happy. They're the main three, the big three. If it's sustainable, if it's healthy, and it makes you happy. They're the big three. If you can get all three in one go, then you're fair well solved. You know, there's no real issue to it. But yeah, no, the everything that you do, the harder you go and the harder you work. But yeah, like the physicality of it all is insane. Like I got sent a photo. I'm gonna name drop right now. I got sent a photo recently, of a memory, and I looked at myself and I was like, look at that fucking guy. Look at that fucking guy. I'm not him. I'm just not him. That's not me. Like, that's not me today, but that was me, And I looked at him and I was like, whoa, whoa. Because I was talking to my main man, Josh Small, at the gym. One of the most hardworking motherfuckers out there. Go Smalley. He and I were talking, and I dropped 70. I've dropped 70. My goal is to drop 70 kilos by April 2023. But at this point, I've dropped 50 kilos, and it has just been insane. Because he says, like, sometimes he has to look at me twice, and I get that from people, and it makes me feel very happy. So thank you for saying it. But yeah, Josh and I were talking about how if it takes whatever, like week one, um, week one usually sucks, and we're just getting past that and getting past that and getting to a point where coming to the gym is like taking a shower or brushing your teeth or whatever that it may be. It's just something you need to do. It's something that you want to do. It's something that you're eager to do. You're like, oh fuck yeah, I gotta go, and yeah, and it's what it is. It's just another habit you work yourself into, and it's just a really, really positive habit. And something that like I've noticed is that a lot of my clothes are fitting a lot more. This shirt being an example. This used to be skin tight on me. Um, everything, a lot of literally everything used to be skin tight on me. Literally. I naturally I have a bigger frame. I'm just working with a bigger frame, but everything's loose. I just need to wear like XL because I just got a bigger frame, but it's loose. It's loose on me, and it's a great feeling to have that loose feeling to it. Because whenever if you get big enough, you get big enough like too fat, um, you you want to wear bigger clothes again. So I remember here's a true story. I used to weigh 180 kilos, and I went to school once, and I was so nervous of how I looked. I actually ended up getting an 8XL shirt. They had to, an 8XL. Yep. Just because it looked bigger on me, and I was like, oh, that'll look good, but no, it didn't. It didn't. It never does. You're just trying to hide. You're trying to hide from what you're doing. And yeah, I got that photo, and also thanks Alicia for sending it. I do appreciate that. I do actually appreciate that. But but I looked at it and I was like, shit, damn, that's a different man. It's a different human being. So yeah, you change personalities because I was not very much as funny as I was, or as sociable as I wasn't really a fun guy to hang out with. Because, like, for example, like after school, no one really would hang out with me, and that's not on you guys, and it's just the truth. Like, I'm not trying to say like you bastards get no. It just didn't. And then I went into a thing of like, I was drinking on my own at like 13 or 14, which is terrible for you. It's not a good way to be either. It's just what I did. Um, and that was, I started drinking. I started smoking bud for the wrong reasons. I think marijuana is an incredible drug, and it's an incredible thing for health. Like, there's people who are getting, helping seizures, cancer. There's a lot of good research to come out of it, but that's not what I was doing it for. I was just sad, depressed kid who wanted, and that's where I first found clarity. So when you find clarity for the first time, you want it again and again and again. But no, once I got into working out, and once I got into once I lost, I think I got down to 175 kilos. I I said no, I gotta turn around. I gotta be something sustainable. I gotta do everything with a better attitude. So that's what I do. So I do everything with a better attitude, and I just, you know, done a full, done a full 180. Just done a full 180, and I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be alive. I'm thankful for all my people in my world, and I'm thankful that you guys are part of it, because it's what it's all about. It's about finding a better mind state to be in, a better feeling. It's about being happier in your own skin. And being happy in your own skin is like, it's the pinnacle of happiness, because if you're happy with yourself, people will naturally be happier around you, and you'll attract, there's an old saying, you only attract people who are as healthy as you are. And so when I was 180 kilos and drunk and whatever, I'd only attract shitty people, like, and now I'm not that. but I get a lot of attention from a lot of people, and it makes me very happy. You know what I mean? And now that I can be me, it's groundbreaking. I love it. So yeah, that's how everything's come for 180. It's just I'm much more happier in my own skin. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening and watching. This has been Rants by Robbo. So episode 3, 4. Episode 3 or 4. Sorry that I'm not really up to date. And this is Gym and Fitness. And make sure to like, subscribe, share, do whatever you have to do to get the video out there. And yeah, have a dig, earn your salt. I'll see you in the next one.